today I know I look like a hot mess, no makeup on, I feel like crap. It's really humid in El Cajon today, and I'm just gonna make a very, very simple lettuce wraps that we do all the time at my house, and everybody loves it. So I thought I would show you guys how to make it. So if you'd like to see how that went and how that goes, just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to start walking you guys through the ingredients, and one of the first things you're going to use is ground turkey. This is just some ground turkey from the store, and I believe this is 1.5 pounds. I'm using 2 of these because I have a huge family and they eat this up. We're going to be using Kung Pao sauce. This one's from Panda Express. It's just a Kung Pao sauce. We get it at Walmart. My sister-in-law, this is the one major thing that she uses different. She uses a different sauce that she gets from Vaughn's. I have no idea what the name is, but this is the one I use. This is the one my family likes. Next, we use peanuts, and you'll see later when to add these, but we use peanuts. We also use the water chestnuts, and I just chop them up, and you'll see that too later. We also use these green onions, just some random green onions. We chop them up, you'll see, again, like I said. And then one of the major things is lettuce. This is what we use to scoop our mixture into. And then lastly, there's rice. We cook this on the side. This is just extra long grain rice, and I'm just going to pop this into my rice cooker because I put this on the side. My family eats this different ways. Some people my family just like the rice on the side, and to make their little cups of lettuce full with the meat mixture. I like to personally mix my rice and my meat mixture together and then have the rice cups on the side and scoop it in, but everybody eats it different, but we cook rice on the side. Okay, so I'm just using this really big skillet and a little knife right now. I also have my stove on to a decently high heat, and all I'm going to basically be doing is taking our packaged meat, and we're basically just going to plop it in there, put it off to the side. We're also going to be taking this is just a spatula, and we're going to start breaking our meat down. Okay, so now that it's all chopped up, we're just going to let our stove kind of rise in temperature and kind of let the meat defrost a little bit before we come back to it. So in the meantime, I'm going to chop up my veggies. Okay, so now for our veggies, we are just going to start off with green onions and our water chestnuts, our sliced water chestnuts. You can use more or less. Right now I'm going to start off with 3, see how I feel about it and how much, if that's okay. You can also throw in peas, carrots, any kind of veggies that you like, but these are the ones that I just put in. So what I do with my green onions is I make them even. Oops. And I take it off to the side, and then I start chopping. You guys see. I'm trying to get them all about the same size. Fun fact about these is that if you put them in a thing of water and just leave them out, this part will actually start to grow, and so will this part, and it'll basically make you a whole new green onion. So if you would like to put it on the side, you could grill them, you could put some in soup, put it with some meat. You could do that if, let's say, you want to, but yeah. So I'm just going to finish chopping up these green onions. Okay, so that's, let's see if I can show you, that's as much green onions as I did. And now we're going to go into our water chestnuts. We're basically going to chop roughly about the same amount of this, probably a little bit less. My family doesn't care for these too much. They don't have really a flavor, but they do have a smell when they're in the can, but they're just for crunch. So I'll start off with these ones, and I'll just slowly add, and I'll show you when I'm finished. I usually take about 2 at a time together, and I just first chop it down the middle, just like that, and then I make tiny little cuts. Can you guys see that? Let me see if I can zoom in. And I'll just move them next to the green onions. Let's see, I'll show you again with these ones. cut it in half, two in half, and then make them tiny little pieces. And that's basically it. I'll show you how much I cut up in a second. Okay, so this is about how much I chopped up for the water chestnuts and the green onion. You could also, like I said before, you could put peas, carrots, whatever you'd like. The thing that my sister-in-law does, she adds celery, but my dad absolutely hates celery, so I don't add it in here. And those are all the veggies that we're going to be using besides the lettuce. But yeah, so I'm going to go check on our meat, and I'll come, you'll see in a second when it's finished cooking. Well, the meat that's finished cooking anyway. Okay, so now we're ready to add the rest of our stuff. Our meat is all done, all cooked off. We're just going to start adding our stuff down. Okay, so I'm going to add the green onion to it and also the water chestnut. And then I'm also going to be adding peanuts. I'm just going to sprinkle them in. I like a lot of peanuts. I like them really crunchy, but my family doesn't, but oh well, they're getting a lot of peanuts today. So I'm putting that much. I'm also going to be taking our Kung Pao sauce, but use whatever sauce you'd like. I've also made this with like a mixture of soy sauce and some other sauces, but I do love it with this Kung Pao sauce. And I'm going to use the whole thing, and I know this looks like a lot of food. That's because it is, but I have a really, really big family, and I'm feeding a lot of people. So yeah, if you were doing half this recipe, you could definitely use way less sauce. I just have a lot of people to feed, and I'm going to be using the whole thing. Getting all that sauce in. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is mix this all up. And basically I'm going to just let this kind of cook a little bit, just for a few minutes, just to get those water chestnuts a little softer, the peanuts to be a little softer, and let that green onion kind of mix in that sauce and meat mixture. It all just kind of like, I don't know, come together and get all its flavors together. I'm also going to lower the heat down halfway to a lower heat. And I'm just going to let this sit here for a little bit to cook a little bit. Just a few minutes. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this off, put my lid on, turn off my heat, and move this to the back burner. And I'm basically just going to leave it over there to sit and kind of set up the sauce to kind of come together onto the meat and stick onto the meat for a little while. And we're just going to leave it here because it's going to stay warm. It's on the stove for a little bit until my rice is done. It's almost finished, so we're just going to leave it till then, and then we're going to serve it up. Okay, my rice is just about ready, and I just want to show you guys real quick what I do with my lettuce and how I cut it, because you may be thinking, okay, how do I cut this lettuce? It has this big heart in the back. In my cooking class that I took in high school, this is how our chef teacher or whatever, or yeah, I think he did, Mr. Bull in El Cajon, he showed us how to do this, and basically it's going to sound loud. All you do is take your head of lettuce and slam it down. So you just go like really fast. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, actually it wasn't loud this time. And that just kind of makes this go in so that you can rip the heart out, because you're not going to want to eat this part. It's really thick, and yeah. So I'm just going to take that off to the side. We're not going to be eating that. And I'm also going to take a couple of the layers off. I already took one or two off already. And you just want to make sure that it looks good. See that piece right here? It's just like a little bit brown. We're just going to peel that off. Yeah, and that's, you could leave it like this to just peel off, or you can just take a clean knife and we can just go, this is what I do. You could also scoop it out this way, the rest of your heart, but I'll show you. Ooh, our rice is done. I'll show you right now. What I do is I just cut it right down the middle and leave it like that. See, we still have some of that like really thick stuff that we're not going to be using. Let me show you. You're not going to be, because these are wraps and you need them to be like little cups or whatever, you're not going to be using this part, you know, it's so little. You're not going to be using it. So I just take it out until I get the first layer of like white kind of color. So that much, because you can use that as a cup. And I just do the same to the other side. There we go. There we go. The first real layer of whites. And with one side, what I tend to do is I cut another, because my dad likes the full, using the huge piece of lettuce for his wraps, because he's a big dude and he kind of likes to eat big portions. But anyway, I don't, and my mom doesn't. I like smaller pieces of the lettuce. So with one of the heads, I leave it normal, and then this head of lettuce, I'm just going to cut it again down the center. So it makes you kind of smaller individual pieces a little bit smaller. So yeah, that's how I cut my rice. Cut my lettuce, and our rice is done, and I'm going to serve up a plate so you guys can see it. Okay, so before I eat, I'm just going to set up a little plate for my husband to eat when he gets home. This is one of those little things that you can, it's divided and everything. So when he comes home, he can eat something, because he does work late. I don't see him all the time at night. So I like to set him aside some food. So what I did is I made him a little heart of rice, and I served him some of the meat. This is what it looks like finished, and a couple slices of the lettuce. Because, oh, and I made the heart because it's our anniversary today, actually. We've been together for 4 years today. Woo woo. Okay, guys, so that's basically it, and I hope you try this recipe out. And so, yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.